Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage is MIKEKINGBIZ, the voice of RVA business media. At MIKEKINGBIZ, we celebrate the idea that business makes society better. On behalf of the whole MIKEKINGBIZ ecosystem, we say a big thank you.
Business media brand company is connected Central Virginia. It's home to MIKEKINGBIZ Radio, producer of On the Mic with Mike RVA, which airs on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM and worldwide on IBG Connector. And connections equal currency. This is MIKEKINGBIZ.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic. Mike King here, coming to you from high above Henrico. What we do is we talk to the best and the brightest. The program is called On the Mic with Mike RVA. You can follow me on social platforms. You also can reach us and follow us and view us every day, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Saturdays, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Richmond. We are the premier digital business program. Alrighty, so shout out to my man Dale Fickett, putting on Techstars. Go there. I don't want to say it's a bunch of nerds in the room, but there's a bunch of nerds in the room. And and to tell the truth be told, I was a nerd before being a nerd was cool. But Techstars is like a really cool place where you see a lot of people with startup ideas, people coming together on the technology scene. Okay, we're there. I see a lot of things, and a young man gets up. The first thing I notice about you is you kind of had some style as a salesman. And being a salesman is just straight love for a sales guy. And he started talking about a program that he had designed. Hold on a second, man. No, that's not the one. So what I'm talking about is doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling, yes.
Doom scrolling. For the folks who are my age who don't know what doom scrolling is, it's that constant stop, you'll see something,
yes,
and you start laughing.
Yes.
You'll chuckle, and you were supposed to be done 10 minutes ago, and here I'm another 15 minutes, scrolling, I see something. So, sir, 1 second, tell us who you are, what you do. 1 second.
All right.
Wait a second, man. I gotta give you your props. All right, so tell us who you are.
All right, my name is Bongani, and I go to the University of Richmond studying economics and data analytics. I am the founder of Driven, which is a platform that is helping college students to reduce doom scrolling by eliminating distractions on their phones during productive hours and giving them incentives to not be on their phones.
Okay, so let me ask you, what was the idea to create Driven, and where did the name come from?
So it came from the fact that for you to want to focus more and improve your productivity, you have to be a driven person.
Let me driven.
Yeah. So I was playing with the words there.
You're a wordsmith. Okay, I like that. I like that. So how long ago did you get the idea of Driven, and what caused you? Were you one of the ones who was out there scrolling like crazy, or that? You're good with math, correct?
Yes, I'm good with numbers.
You've always been good with numbers.
Yes.
When did you? And that makes the rest of us who are not good with numbers kind of nervous, because when did you realize you were good with numbers and math?
Well, 15 years ago, when I was in elementary school.
Okay.
I could calculate change, and my mom sent me to the grocery store to buy bread, and this guy tried to cheat on me with the change. So I was like, no, that's not my change. Give me some more. So he was like, oh, this kid is onto something. So he gave me my correct change. So that's how we started. And then we built it up.
So when you're in school, you could see the other kids struggling when we got to the math problems.
Oh, yeah.
Their heads are smoking, their heads are on fire, and here you are going through it.
Yes, definitely, with ease. So a lot of people, they don't like numbers when they hear them. But I think numbers are the best way to explain anything. You can explain anything with numbers.
Numbers, they say numbers don't lie.
Yes, numbers don't lie.
The numbers do not lie.
Yes.
Okay, so where are you from originally?
I come from Zimbabwe, and
Okay.
I moved to the States for college.
To go to, so what did you heard about America? And then when you got here, like, what was true, and then other parts are like, nah, they sold us a bill of goods.
Well, the first thing that made me want to come to the States was because of the opportunities. So in most countries, because of how bad economies are and how bad policies are, you are rowing and sailing against a current. But in the United States, you're sailing with the current, or in some places you're sailing in the still place.
Okay.
So your effort is equal to your outcome.
So that's what you heard and believed before you got here.
No matter how much you try here in the United States, there's always something that can make you succeed.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Is that how long you been here now?
4 years.
Okay. Is that still the case?
It's still the case. It's still the case. America is still the Roman Empire of modern day, for sure. But if I speak on the social scene, that's when it's slightly different, of course. I realize that people are a lot more liberal in the way they talk. So back in my country, you don't address adults by their first names.
Yes. That addressing adults by names is a new thing. And in the black culture, that didn't happen. That definitely did not. You didn't talk back.
You didn't talk back, yes.
You didn't talk back, and there were adult conversations, and you were not in it.
Yes.
So that part of it is always the truth. When you come from Africa and then Zimbabwe, and you come to University of Richmond, and people are like, "Oh wow, smart kids go there. It's an expensive place." What was the first idea when you got there that you knew, I can do this? Mm-hmm. This isn't something. You're coming to another country. It's big. It's fast. It's prosperous. They got a whole bunch of people, and also you get there and like, you know what? The numbers are the same. The numbers in Zimbabwe are the numbers in America. So I'm good here.
Yes. I mean, to be honest, the reason why I actually chose the University of Richmond was because of their prestigious business school. The connections are immense. The class sizes are smaller. And because of that, you can have personal relationships with the professors. They know you by name and by character. So when I got there and I see how welcoming everyone was, I was like, damn, this is a good place.
This is a place.
Yes, this is a place, yeah. So, but one thing I noticed was so much fragmented attention in classes. And what I mean is, I come from Zimbabwe where I learned English formally in class. And I don't know this street English or the conversational English.
Yes.
I speak school English.
Yes.
So I get there and I see that when people are communicating, the way they communicate is slightly different. So I use words like vindicatively or anticipatory in my conversations, and no one uses those words.
No, they're not using. They're not using those words.
Yes.
Yes. So you are going to stand out in a room full of bookworms. Smart. That's another term for smart bookworms. You're going to stand out there because it's a friend of mine I knew. He said things were comfortable, and like it's a guy told me English is an easy language to learn. It's a hard language to master.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
And on top of it, people come from different areas. Speaking in Pennsylvania is different than Alabama, different in Texas. People are different slangs. People are different. Their dialects are different. They may be saying the same thing, but it is totally different. So you went to Richmond. You went there, economics and business.
Yes.
So what's the biggest thing that you learned so far being on campus over at U of R?
The biggest thing that I learned on campus is likability is the most important thing in the modern age.
If people like you.
Yes. If people like you, you're making money. You're making connections. They want to hire you. I see this boom in internet celebrities and streaming. I see people like iShowSpeed, Kai Sanat, Clavicular. No matter what they're doing, whether you think, what they're doing is fun or not, you know that there's a segment of people that like them. And that likability is boosting them by far. And it's applicable everywhere.
It does make it easier people like you.
Yes.
It does. So I saw that Kai had that Streamers University.
Yes.
That it looked like a madhouse, but there's a woman here who owns a sneaker shop. She got time with them. Well, when you see her social media platform, her social media game is really strong.
Yeah.
And so, that says something to you, that it opens doors up, it offers you opportunities. So let me ask you, let's get into Driven. When did you launch Driven?
I launched Driven as the actual app 3 weeks ago, but I launched the concept 6 months ago.
Okay. So when I saw you, were you nervous at Techstars?
No.
You were not. I know you weren't. So you were born for the stage, the platform.
Yes, and I'll say it's genetic because
So your parents, some of your family can work a room.
Yes, almost everyone in my family is a lawyer. My dad has been a lawyer for 35 years, and he is a damn good speaker.
So he can work a room.
He can work a room.
Okay, so it's easy for you. That is a power that everybody doesn't have. That's not my thing. I get up and do it because I have to for the business side. But me working, I have to be strategic in it. But so when I'm seeing you that day, it's not like a 23-year-old young guy out there no. You're telling your story, we give you a time. So what was the big takeaway from Techstars? We got to give a shout out to all. So Dean Mickey over at the School of Business, as well as my man Dale Fickett, bringing Techstars to town. Again, it was amazing being there. So you launched the concept. What was the takeaway from Techstars?
Well, my biggest takeaway from Techstars was the fact that you have to keep going regardless. So you have to stay in it, but you also have to know when to abandon ship. There's the dead horse theory. I was speaking with someone there networking, and they were telling me that we are told that, when you start a concept, you have to stick with it to the end. That's conditionally true. But when you're riding a dead horse, you have to know when early to get off it before you put so much resources into it. So there needs to be a good balance between persistence and identifying what's working and what's not.
So now, one of the reasons why people stick and stay in business, I shut this business down. The business is personal. And now all of a sudden I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Because I asked these young guys who were in the music business and they had clothes and merch. I said to them, when do you know to shut this business down and move on to the next thing? They said, when the bread stops coming in. That's as clear as it gets. When the money stops, it turns into, okay, but it's personal. And all of a sudden people are like, he used to do that, but the numbers, you see it coming long before you say, I got to pull the trigger.
Yes.
Talk about a business knowing their numbers. So you don't have to be in business, you're a numbers guy. Everybody is not a numbers person, but everybody needs to know their numbers. Talk about the importance of that.
The importance of numbers. We talked about how numbers don't lie. But also numbers allow us to identify something before it happens by looking at the history and the trend of it. My father uses a phrase, terra incognito, which means that which you cannot see. And that's what makes a lot of people successful. You identify where the wind is going, and then you use the numbers to see what's going on. I'll give you an example with Driven, okay? I did a symbol search. I went online and I looked for what's the biggest barrier to top academic performance. And one of the things I saw was doom scrolling. I went to Twitter, I went to TikTok, I said hashtag doom scrolling to see how many hashtags there were. Close to 20 million. So it means 20 million people
had a question.
Yes, we're talking about doom scrolling.
Okay.
Actually. And I said, these numbers are true, but let me test them locally. So I sent Google Forms. I talked to hundreds of students at the University of Richmond, and guess what? 3 in 5 identified as chronic doom scrollers. By chronic, I mean having a screen time of at least 6 hours a day on average. Someone had 13 hours a day, and you wonder how that happens.
No. They wouldn't get nothing else done.
No.
And we're talking about doom scroll. We're not talking about productive things.
No.
We're talking about killing time.
Talking about killing time, passing time, making everything just automated in a sense that you cannot sustain a 5-minute long YouTube video If it's more than 30 seconds, you want to scroll to the next one, you know?
Yes, I think I make my post too long. I do. All right, so wait, we got to go back to your father's thing. Hit that one with me again. Like, what does he say?
He says you have to use terra incognito.
Terra incognito.
Yes.
And that means what?
That which you cannot see.
And here people say the third eye. So a lot of people don't see, visionary people see that.
Yes.
And that makes them successful. Other people, they see it after it's happened. So you're looking at this and saying, 20 million people were talking about doom scrolling.
Yes.
If you're not an entrepreneur type, you just look at that and say, well, what if you're not an entrepreneur type? You might not be searching for that unless it's for school or something like that.
Yes.
You looked at that and had an idea of turning that into a business.
Yes.
Let's go through those steps.
Okay, so the first thing I did, I identified that this was a real problem, and I tested it with real people. 3 in 5 identified as chronic doom scrollers. I said, oh, okay, but why don't you just delete your Instagram or your TikTok? And then they said, no, A, we use these platforms to communicate with our friends.
Okay.
B, we use it to run some businesses. Some of them have online businesses. C, we're living in an information age. We use this for news. So,
okay.
Yes, when I want to know what's going on in the Middle East, I look at Instagram to check. It's the fastest way, most convenient way. It's the simplest way to disseminate information. So they don't want to stay off it, but they want to be productive with it. And so I was trying to balance them using their social media, but also being productive during the times when they need to be productive.
Okay, so they're like, we know it's not good for us, but I got to stay on it.
Uh-huh.
I always wonder with people who have that, which is people believe what they see. Like, come on, man. You know, that's their highlight reel. That's their Super Bowl World Cup that they're putting up there. It's not a regular day. They're not, for the most part, they're not putting everything that is polished. It's fabricated. It is put together. It's not just random idea, put it up there. I posted something on LinkedIn a couple of months ago. Can you be an influencer with 10 likes, 1 follow, and 2 comments?
No.
But you can. I'm not trying to reach everybody.
Okay.
I'm trying to reach that person who can say yes to what I need. Want people to know who I am. I want people, but it's not a mass. It's like CPM. It's not the cost per thousand. I'm not in the retail business. I could look at this and think like I'm in the wholesale business. More people would know me if I was better at that and I had 10,000. It would allow me to get to other people who are decision makers. But all you need is that one investor to be like, I like what you're talking about. You've gone through 10,000 other people saw them scrolled right by.
Yeah.
Or heard you and walked away. They didn't, and all it took was that one person to say, hey, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And all you didn't need, I call it a CP1. All it needs is a cost per one. That one person who can change the course of your business.
Definitely. I think every business these days has an inflection point.
Yes.
And it depends on what you define by inflection point. Maybe it's one investor seeing the idea and liking it, but still investors react to the ability to scale. Now, we have moved past a building economy. Back in 2010, you could develop an app and people will like the fact that you developed the app. But now everyone can develop an app, okay? Now we're in a scaling economy. How fast can you scale it? And when investors see that, oh, okay, you have 10,000 users, you have 50,000 people who are reacting to your content, they're much more inclined than when you have 10. But maybe among the 10, you have a life-changing audience. So it still goes back to who the audience
but
is.
we're getting back to the number, and the numbers say I'd be better off with 10,000.
Yes, definitely. We're living in a scaling economy.
So can you have a good idea and it's not scalable?
Yes, you could have a good idea and it's not scalable. And
Can it be a good business?
it can be a good business, yes. But I don't think that when you can scale an idea, you will fail. But also, if you can't scale an idea, it will still remain a good idea. I mean, a lot of people have big inventions living there. One of my uncles is a mechanical engineer, and he developed some shoes that can harness kinetic energy when you're moving. And because of that, you can use those shoes to charge your phone. So you can plug a USB there and charge your phone. But he tried pitching this idea in many places, and it couldn't work. Now, it's a brilliant idea for sure.
It's a good idea.
But someone says, oh, no one wants to plug their USB on their shoes. We have power sockets to do that. You can charge your phone in your car. There's no real traction or scale. So that affects the ability of the business to grow, and people don't want to invest in it.
So your father's a lawyer.
Yes.
Are you an entrepreneur? So you want to go to University of Richmond and take an entrepreneur studies. You're doing some things like that.
Yes.
Are you a serial entrepreneur, or dream school, driven is going to be the thing? Are you working on multiple things, or do you ride driven until you realize that horse either somebody took it over, or either just didn't get to where I wanted to be, and all of a sudden, but I had 18 other ideas that I've been working on. I'm just waiting for the time to pull them out of the garage.
I'd say driven is my first big idea that I'm working on. I've worked on good ideas before. Back when I was still in Zimbabwe, I developed a platform to help disseminate COVID information to people, because there was so much COVID disinformation. I'll tell you some of the interesting ones. So a particular minister in government said that COVID-19 was a disease sent by God to destroy the West for putting sanctions on Zimbabwe or something like that. So because COVID affected the Western countries first before it moved to Africa. So most people became reckless, and when COVID came, it hit people like crazy. So I said, oh, this is a real problem. Some people were told that they should drink cow urine and smear cow dung on their faces. It possessed COVID repellent attributes. So I was like, this is wrong. So I developed a platform to disseminate reliable COVID information data. At some point, I had like 20,000 users. And when COVID, ended, so I just stopped the program. So this is my second big thing that I'm working on for sure.
When you did that project, when did you know? Okay, it started. You're a kid, it's like okay, man. When did you realize, hey, this thing is kind of catching on? And what did other people say when they realized what you had?
When people realized that this was a game-changing thing, I started to be invited to different platforms to share more about this. I actually won a few awards. I was second place in the whole African continent in terms of college business pitches with African Leadership Academy. That event was sponsored by the Bezos Family Foundation. And I won multiple national awards in Zimbabwe, a role model award. Now, the point of these awards was for me to get a platform and tell people about using COVID-19 information responsibly, listening to verified sources, so that we can save lives.
When you go back home, what are the top 3 things that people ask you about living in the States?
Do you guys pluck money from the leaves from trees?
Okay.
Have you seen Beyonce and LeBron James? Have you met them?
Okay.
Yeah. And someone is like, what is it like to be in a melting pot?
Even for people here, when you go to a different area, it's different, but a person says you can ride for 3 days and nobody asks you a question. You don't cross a border. You don't change money. It's all those things. It is American success and opportunities for people to come from other countries. What's next for Driven for you?
What's next for Driven right now is to spread the word as vigorously as possible, reach every possible person we want to reach. We are targeting the 18 to 24 demographic because it's the most active on social media. That's the most valuable demographic that's wanted by billion-dollar technology companies. Now, I'll say that the most reliable social media platforms were made not just for people to access them, but for people to remain on them. They were made for retention. So we want to, we're using social media where the students are doom scrolling to spread the word about how to reduce doom scrolling and share them with this technology solution for it.
How can people get information about Driven?
How do people get information about Driven? We primarily use our Instagram account, we use LinkedIn, we use Facebook. We also use word of mouth. So we are doing a program where we go onto campuses and we talk to students, get them signed up and direct them to these two. I actually did a very interesting experiment at the University of Richmond. And yeah, you're going to like this. So I stood in one of the busiest places on campus. And I had a big placard. It was written, leave your phone with us for an hour in our lock box. If you do this, we'll pay you. Now, the idea was to investigate if students even want to let go of their phones at some point to focus on work.
Okay.
And to see if they respond to an incentive system. So I used $5 because I got a lot of money from my friends to just do this experiment. Now the idea was to find, no matter how small the money is, does money work as a good incentive to say, if I'm going to pay you to not be on your phone, would you do it? Because now people are being told to not be on their phones just for the sake of it, but they're not being told what to replace not being on their phones with. And that's what leads to them relapsing. Yes. So within 30 minutes, I had like 60 people leaving their phone with me for an hour, and my lockbox became too small and I ran out of money. So I had to shut down that whole experiment. Now, after an hour, when these people came back, I was asking them, so how did the hour feel? And 99% said it felt more productive. They talked to their friends. They did their homework that would take them 45 minutes, just 15 minutes. And they said they would do it even for free to just, leave their phones with me. They just wanted an active enforcement mechanism. And 25% said they wanted to leave their phone with me for the whole day. So that's when it clicked to me that the fact that I incentivized people to not be on their phones, it attracted them. But once the personal gain or the intrinsic value of doing work and talking to their friends kicked in, it became more and more sustained. So that's the concept behind Driven, which is an app that blocks distractions during productive hours. And in addition to that, people can do what's called gamification of focus. That also triggers the same dopamine. What happens is you can invite your friend to log in a homework session, and it blocks apps on your phone and on your friend's phone. If your friend is trying to cheat and unblock their phone, you can see it. And you can say, hey, you see? So it generates a leaderboard, it generates positions and ranks. And when you see your friend is locking in more than you, you're incentivized to do more and lock in. So we're bringing social accountability to productivity to reduce doom scrolling.
Because when you look at a person, you leave home without your phone.
Mm-hmm.
How far and how long will a person go before they go back home? Because there's so much. I met a person, he said, on the African continent, that the cell phone was a game changer. Because it's not just a phone, it is your gateway to the world. Now, there used to be a time when we answered phones and didn't know who was on there. Then caller ID happened, and then it was like, whoa. And then beepers, pagers, cell phones came about. We stopped knowing people's phone numbers.
Yeah.
So everything in our world, the schedule, the kids' school, every number is in the phone, and we don't have to remember. I can't ask you, how do I go to your house? Google it.
Google it.
Google it. So when you give up your phone, you kind of like, it took a lot for them, and it was something that they believed in you. It's not like you take your phone and run off.
Yes, of course.
Because every part of their world, they may not know their home phone number. It's in there as mom, dad,
Yeah.
or home. So it said something that they gave to you, and then they come back and say, we do need something, it works, I just need something to do during the time that I would be scrolling when I could be doing work. The work took me 45 minutes because I'm doing 30 minutes of scrolling, as opposed to 15 minutes working, getting, and then having an accountability partner. That's a cool one too.
Yeah.
So when you're just kind of wavering, like nobody's looking, your partner knows.
Your partner knows.
Is that the one that gets people right there? That one, it's kind of like the other one, yeah, okay, I'm doing this thing. I'm doing it by myself.
Yeah.
I could be cheating. I'm trying not to. I should be drinking water. I should be doing those things. Well, nobody's here, but all of a sudden, I get a message. My man's like, yo, Mike, what you over there doing? Oh, hold on a second, let me get back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that would be the one that would be interesting for people.
It'll be interesting. And do you know, surprisingly, so I went to Stanford to do a networking event with Roman Scott and Breakthrough Ventures. And during my networking, I discovered that there's actually another demographic, mothers with iPad kids. Yes, so because I was talking to this woman and she said, oh, my kid is not in the 18 to 24 demographic, but he cannot let go of his iPad. I need a way to do that parental control and block, YouTube during specific hours when he has to sleep. I think that could be for me as well. And I think, oh, that's interesting.
Because there's a commercial that's on, dad calls everybody, time to eat, trying to do something, nobody responds.
Non-response.
He cuts off the access and everybody comes running.
Yeah.
But that is a good idea because kids are born now, babies are born knowing that if I do this, something happens. So it's hard. And when we were up at Penn State, it said one of the reasons that parents, that young people load their phone is, that's really the first thing that was theirs. No matter if your parents paid or whatever, that was your phone. That was your gateway to the world.
Yeah.
So it's hard, but that's a good one right there. Mom says, so you're saying 18 to 24-year-olds, this is where the money is, everybody wants to reach that demo. Mom's saying, I gotta pry it out of my kid's hand.
Yeah.
And we can't go anywhere. The second my granddaughter gets in the car, could you turn on the internet?
Yeah.
That's where we live in.
Yeah.
All right, man, how can people get information about Driven?
So you just go on our website. It's driven.info. You can also download the app on App Store. It's called Driven app. So you just say DRVYN app, and then you find it, and then you download it.
Terra Incognito.
Terra Incognito.
What's your father's name?
His name is Douglas Mwonzora. He's actually the leader of the main opposition party in Zimbabwe.
Counselor, Terra Incognito. That is something that I will remember. So congratulations on the opposition as well. I come from the political world for radio, and anybody who's challenging the system when it's not doing the right thing, congratulations to you.
Thank you so
Congratulations,
much.
my man. So you got a home.
Are we really doing this?
It's your call.
Call Federal Credit Union, your best call for mortgages.
Hey there, little superstar. It's time to play. Grab your furry buddy. Let's go out today. With wagging tails and furry purrs, snakes and turtles and rabbits that twirl. Sidekick adventures, just you and me. Exploring the world, happy as can be. Sidekick adventures, let's have some fun. With our best friends, the day's just begun.
What would you tell an international company who's considering expanding about choosing Greater Richmond?
It's a lot about the quality of life, the connection with the community, the stable workforce, the productive workforce, cost of living.
Quality of life for sure. That's very big for us. In addition to that, I would also maybe add on to the universities and community colleges. We have worked with several of them to tailor an apprenticeship program and an internship program, and they have tailored their curriculum to our needs, and that is very helpful to us.
The new campus at Bryant and Stratton College strengthens relationships with our employers because it strengthens our talent pipeline within Chesterfield County. Employers gain access to well-prepared graduates ready to contribute to the workforce in the county.
We are so excited that with the YMCA and Bryant Stratton College that we've got the opportunity to support student learning. It is so wonderful to have this new campus here in the Richmond and Chesterfield area. There is accessibility to connect the business community alongside of the campus. So for the student, it really provides a well-rounded experience because I think there's the opportunity to grow and to be able to grow the offerings at the campus.
We are so fortunate. Our employer and community partners recognize that by working with Bryant and Stratton College, they're helping to train their future employees. The space really reflects what our employers are telling us that they need from our graduates. Employers impact our curriculum, they impact our clinical sites and internships. They are a partner with us as we educate our students.
I think from the perspective of keeping the campus with a regional focus, so in Chesterfield, serving and pulling from the Richmond community as well. Our entire region is focused on workforce development. We are focused on helping people reach their highest potential, and the education pipeline to the workforce development pipeline is absolutely critical. So the access to the classes, the experiences, it's an amazing campus that support education and provide more access to opportunity and grow the partnerships because of the new location.
I am so proud that Bryant and Stratton College, its graduates, its students, and its associates get to positively impact the Chesterfield-Richmond community. When I'm out and about and I see our graduates at work celebrating the profession that they studied with us, I just can't tell you what that means to me.
Hello, my name is Joel Newby and I am here with
Chrissy Vandal of the YMCA of Greater Richmond.
And today we'll be talking about water safety and a special event coming up in Henrico.
Hello, my name is Desiree Cooper, aka Lifestyle Desi, and we're going to be interviewing.
Hi everyone, Chrissy Vandal with the YMCA.
And we're going to be asking her some questions.
So I remember going to the YMCA as a child, and every time I would go, my favorite part was the pool. Like, that was my favorite part. Every gym I go to, I'm just excited. I want to go to the pool. I don't even want to work out. I want to go to the pool. And a big part of that was like the lifeguards, and I feel like it's very important, the water safety. And I noticed between all the gyms I've been to, YMCA had a very good policy around that. So tell me how you help enforce that policy.
Yeah, so it is so important, and one first Thank you for saying that, because that filled my heart with joy, knowing that your experience around water is so positive. And because of our lifeguards and the safety, having lifeguards is one of the most important things that our YMCA nationally has created as a standard for safety. We want to make sure that there's always someone there who is trained and certified and knows what to do should an emergency happen. But really the most important job that a lifeguard has is preventing injuries and accidents from happening in the first place. So that is one layer for protecting our water spaces and keeping people safe. And if you are at least 15 years old, you can actually become a lifeguard through the American Red Cross certification.
Well, one question I wanted to ask was, what are the most common water safeties that adults or people should know?
Oh, that's a great
Who
question.
have kids, or having kids.
So if you are an adult with children and you yourself do not know how to swim, do not feel like you are alone in that in the world, because half of our adults don't know how, and there are a lot of reasons behind that: access, fear, resources. But if you don't know how to swim, it's never too late. And that's something I will always tell adults. You should go check out your local YMCA or a swim school near you and get yourself signed up for an opportunity. In addition to that, though, it's really important that your children are educated on water safety, knowing that they always need you as an active water watcher and supervisor. Something I'm wearing today is actually a water watcher tag, and this is a physical reminder that we give to our parents and our adults who are going to be responsible. This is in addition to that lifeguard we talked about earlier. We want those multiple layers of protection to keep kids safe. And so having a water watcher and a lifeguard is one of the ways we do that.
How do you get your water watcher tag?
Yeah, come stop by a YMCA and we can hook you up with one of these.
Yeah, I think learn how to swim more.
We can do that too.
These safety siblings I have, jumping in the pool, they like to jump in the pool. And
Yes. Yeah, water is fun and it should be fun, but we've got to make sure people know how to be safe there.
So before this job, did you have experience as a teenager or growing up as a lifeguard?
So I did. My story with water starts a long, long time ago. If I look back, my grandmother actually taught me how to swim when we were camping, and I loved it. Local swim coach saw me in the pool and recruited me, and I was on the swim team that next afternoon. Fast forward to when I became 15, I was a lifeguard, started coaching our swim team, teaching our swimming lessons, and then the YMCA found me in my college years, and I have been there ever since.
That's a great story.
Thank you.
You guys did that.
So tell us about an event coming up to our community.
Yeah, so July 18th is our water safety event. We've got our flyer here, /Smart Henrico. There's going to be a lot of fun out on the Eastern Laburnum Recreation Center out in the front fields. We will have different tables with water safety education. Our Henrico County Police and Fire will be there. We'll be doing some CPR demonstrations, life jacket fittings. We'll have some fun with food trucks. It's going to be a lot of fun. The splash pad out there will be open, and then around 12 o'clock, 12 to 1, we'll be transitioning to the Frank J. Thornton Aquatic Center for some in-water demos at the pool.
How long have you been doing the water watch?
The water watcher, oh my goodness. I want to say this has been around for me in my position and role for at least the last decade. It's really, really important. Yes.
So coming back to your /Smart event, what is your goal with this event? Do you want to encourage water safety? Do you want to bring more lifeguards into our community? What is the ultimate goal?
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal is to bring community awareness around water safety and prevent drownings. Last summer, we had a really kind of tragic summer, losing a lot of young lives to drowning events. And so this is really aimed to, let's not have a single another drowning in our community.
Well, thank you for your time today. We hope that this event is a success. I can't wait for the food trucks and everything else. So thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you all. Appreciate you. Great job with your questions, and we hope to see you at the event.
Here talking, and you guys are on all kinds of lists.
Yes.
You guys are on lists out there making magic happen. And then I see the number of Black-owned businesses, and all of a sudden Richmond is the Mecca.
Yeah, I mean, 66% in 2023, according to Yelp? It's just amazing. I mean, we had a few open during the pandemic. Ruby Scoops being one of those individuals. And of course, we cannot forget about the Lindsay Group, right?
Shout out to Mike Lindsay out there. Now, that's crazy.
Right. I mean, Lily Pearls opened during the pandemic as well. And I mean, ML Steakhouse in Chesterfield County just opened not even too long ago. I hope to get out there sometime within the next week because it's my birthday and I think I want to go celebrate.
Shout out to you on your birthday.
You.
We were at Farm and Oak just about a couple weeks ago. And it's something when you start looking at during the pandemic, the opportunity, and here we go back to intentionality. The city, the area was encouraging Black businesses, not just Black businesses, but businesses to open and thrive. And
right.
It seems that's what happened.
Yes, yes. I'm really thankful to people like Richmond Tourism. I mean, we cannot do it without the support of our community, but also to our jurisdictional partners, right? And in our organizational partners like Jacksonville Collective and in Unison, like those individuals are on the ground every single day, connecting with business owners, making sure they're addressing areas of growth and building capacity so they can continue to sustain during all the challenging times that we have. And then of course the residents who are out, making sure that we're supporting even when people aren't traveling.
What do you think it is that Richmond is so such a fertile ground for people starting businesses, not just Black, but
right.
Anybody and everyone?
I think it speaks to the resilience of who we are, that, you know, of course, we cannot forget the history of, you know, the city of Richmond specifically, but to look back and then now kind of seeing the resilience started with Magdalena Walker and that community at Jackson Ward, which is considered the Harlem of the South, right? Seeing the resilience and all the amazing things and how, although we are impacted by many, many challenges from pandemics to racism to all those things, I mean, we're still here. And we have people who truly support and believe in the mission of moving us forward.
There you go. Tamaka's here with us. So your jurisdictional partners, that just sounds official. So I was just out with Tamara a couple weeks ago, and we were with Bryant and Stratton, and she was with her I Am Tourism. Mm-hmm. You know I got my badge, right? You know I got the pin. Yes.
I couldn't tell. I'm just kidding.
I know. I hear you. Exactly. So I walked in and the room, there's a lot of people there. So let's go down through the jurisdictional partners.
Yes.
Chesterfield.
Yes.
Colonial Heights.
Yep.
New Kent.
You got it.
Okay. Henrico.
Yes.
That's my.
Yep. There's another H in there. Hanover County.
Hanover. Okay.
And then what's next door to Hanover?
Not Powhatan.
The town of Ashland.
Oh, the town. Okay, so she was there. The town of Ashland.
Yeah.
And
of course, the city of Richmond. Of course, the city of Richmond.
How can I forget this? Shout out to the good folks in the city of Richmond. But it is something when you start looking at the areas further out and the opportunities that are out there. So a lot of even though Richmond gets a lot of the pub, there's a lot of business that are out in those other areas. The businesses and the ecosystems are thriving. So shout out to Catherine and I. We're going on a road trip, on a road tour. We're taking the show on the road. We're going to go see the jurisdictional partners and talk about what's happening in those ecosystems.
Yes, and I put a plug in. If you are a hospitality and tourism business located in those jurisdictions, those surrounding counties of Hanover, Chesterfield, Henrico, the town of Ashland, New Kent, Colonial Heights, we want to make sure that we are connected with you and are promoting you for free on our website. So please reach out to us. I'm sure we will say how to find me, Richmond Region Tourism. We just want to make sure we're connecting and that we're promoting you to visitors and residents.
Because you guys have the database that where you can go explain that to the folks out there.
So we have an internal CRM system where we're able to add your information to our back end, of course, and then it will collect on our website, whether it's visit richmondva.com, whether it's visit Black RVA or visit BOK RVA or outrva.com. So it just depends on if you Black owned, LGBTQ. Of course, with Visit Richmond, you're all of those things. And so you can amazingly get on those sites as well. And so connecting with us is the first step. Then we'll take it from there on, show you how to get connected and listed on our site and manage it.
At Jani King, we get it. You need a reliable cleaning partner you can trust. With Jani King, you're partnering with local business owners backed by over 55 years of expertise. Call or visit JaniKing.com today.
All right, folks, welcome back to the show. I'm Mike Asherbrenner, the Redneck Connector, founder of the Hounds of Business. And today we're going to continue that conversation, the fake marketing combo, but from a different angle, one that I'm really mesmerized by and I really cannot wait to share with you. And that's why I have these two rock star amazing ladies next to me, Jennifer Thompson and, okay, I call her Jade because this ain't a costume. Right? Yadira, is it?
Yes.
Close?
Yadira.
There you go, y'all. The quote cheat code I sometimes refer to, right? For relationship builders, service professionals. Supermom, Lachelle Atkins, right? Built a relationship with her for years. And she connected me with these two amazing ladies who are the founders of I Am Magazine International. They had a men's division. So back in September of 25, these ladies were introduced. And skipping ahead, it was like PB and J in the same jar, folks. I loved who they were, right? We had so much in common, our vision, mission. And then that made figuring things out a lot easier. So when they did the men's division, wow, blessed beyond measure. Myself and probably 80% of the hounds, right, seem to be in it, men. And so I got featured on the cover. We continue to work, push each other up in this first trust first room, working relationship. So ladies, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We are wonderful, Mike. Like always, happy to be with you and ready to talk. Let's get started.
So Jennifer, Jade, before we talk about the magazine authority and everything else we're building and you're building and we're working together, take us back. Do you remember about how we first got connected? Jade, we're going to honor your voice then.
Thank you so much. Well, I remember we know Lachelle in 2018. And when we talked to her about the men's division and all the creation and everything, she connected us together. Eh? She sent you us. So it was an amazing energy, the alignment, the feeling that this wasn't just another call. It felt like purpose meeting, purpose.
It was, and I was running around at my daughter's school event at the park. So it was not like that's, folks out there, I say that because, yes, when it's the right people, when it's different, maybe if it was, then what you thought it would be, that initial call.
I was very excited to meet you. I knew that there had to be synergy between us because Lachelle, Supermom, she doesn't connect people that do not align. I trust her recommendations very much because she does not put two people that are not compatible. So the reality of things is that when we met, I thought, oh my God, he is different, different than the average person, of course. The redneck hat and the way you talk and everything, and I loved it. I was like, oh my God, this is my tribe. This is my kind of people, that is authentic, that is original. I immediately fell in love with you. I thought it was just a match made in
the intro. So after we had talked and had that initial phone call, what was it that said, okay, that was more than just feel good and there might be something here business wise?
Yadira, you want to go first?
Yeah. Yes, of course. Well, I think afterwards, the connection was right there, the alignment. So it didn't feel strange. It didn't feel like, oh, this is another call and that was it. It was just like Jen said, there was everything, the love at first sight. It was like the connection, the alignment, the conversations were deepened. We realized that we were building a real connection based on being truthful, being humane, being just being ourselves. We hung up and with Jen, we were like, oh my goodness, we're in love with this guy.
Wow, that just happened. Jennifer, you want to have something quickly add? Because I want to make sure folks get the how-to.
Yes, absolutely. Right after we met and we discussed the things that we wanted to do, what stood out to me or what came right after is the brevity that you started making the steps happen. You said you were going to do certain things and you did them right away. I didn't have to remind you. I didn't have to ask you. I saw the connection right away. We started working together and we did things in a way that we both enjoyed and benefit from it. And that showed me that you were the real thing. That showed me that you were the real person, that who I was talking to and the person that came to me and introduced themselves were the real thing. They were just not just talk. Action proves so much more than just words.
Beautiful. Thank you. And folks listening, hey, here's the takeaway. Here's how you can apply this. The part most people miss: warm introductions are not magic by themselves, right? They work when the people on both sides honor them and value them and step, right? The two-step, the cha-cha, you gotta have them in sync. And that's so it is. So let's dive in. But y'all have built the magazine platform with serious reach and serious credibility. So why does written authority still matter in general, especially to coaches, guides, experts, business owners, even B2B players, entrepreneurs? Why is it in general, Jennifer, why is it still matter and useful?
Well, you see, people are drowning on content. And the truth is that having a digital presence where you are telling your full story, where you are having a whole feature, just instead of like the 30-second clips that everybody's doing, creates a third-party validation that it's very necessary to establish who you are. So it creates a door opener for let's say in TV interviews or different podcasts. It establishes you, gives you validity and establishes you as who you say you are. And of course, I Am Magazine is about telling your story. That's why it's called I Am. We want you to own your narrative, to tell your story from your point of view. And people remember stories. You know, you might have a brand, you might have, you know, the Hounds has the wolf with the moon and the logo and the colors, and that's great. But at the end of the day, what they will remember is the story. When they see that logo, they'll remember your story. And that is important. And that's what we give with this platform, an opportunity for you to design your story, to be in control of your narrative and to present yourself. And that gives you a platform, a long-term platform that can be, that is not just short. It's not a 30-second short. It is actually something that will be in people's memories for a long time.
And Jade, I want you to chime in, but before I do, well, let's take the story this way. Let's kind of move this to the background and put this to the forefront, right? And again, I'm not knocking it, but you know, what's going to sell the most magazines, right? Hey, how do we amplify and help you? Jade, you know, what is your take? Why does written authority still matter in general?
Well, it does matter. It's very important, like Jen was saying. The story becomes a permanent reference point. It explains your journey, your values, your mission. It deepens more than a reel that you post. And it's part of the digital print. And not only that, because you're sharing your essence, your real you, like we say, you're sharing your I am. And people do really still want to connect with the real story, with the real person, with the essence of that person. They really want to connect with who you are. And that is very important, because I can make a reel dancing or, I don't know, doing something or speaking, but who are you in real? That's what people want to connect with. And that is very important. That is let's say, the legacy that you're leaving when you are writing your story in a platform, in a magazine, in a TV show, anything that, of course, we can help you with.
Most of us are on a 200-year legacy. So I love the point you ladies made, because I want people to get this and retain it. Authority builds before the sales convo. So you can watch a podcast, you can see a LinkedIn post, but then folks go check you out. And don't make no mistake, they're going to AI, Google, they're going to LinkedIn, all the above. And this is why I love it, because when they go in secret and they go check you out, what are they seeing? And another point that's really important that I want to follow up with is that it's not one or the other. I've had a lot of folks come back in 2 months, sometimes 6 months, right? Sometimes weeks. Oh, I saw this. And here's what they say. This is the magic. This is why taking your time is a crock pot, not a microwave. Doesn't take forever, but we know it tastes better, right? You are who you seem to be. When someone goes, hey, you're actually what you act like. And that is a big contributor to the magazine, right? Because it sits there and you ladies already have the right people. You already these folks are loyal. Hundreds of thousands of folks tune in every month to read. They're looking. So here's my question. Crockpot content beats microwave marketing, right? What does that mean to you from the magazine side, right? So why do people underestimate it? Go for it, Jade.
Well, I think because slow authority isn't loud, it's steady, it builds trust quietly, and people want instant validation.
Yes.
That's one of the things, yes. But they're waiting for something, for that instant validation. But what are they going to have that validation from you if you're not showing the real you?
That's right. Not performative you.
Content beats microwave marketing because that is trust that is built through repeated proof and not repeated promotions. So when somebody is featured in the magazine, for instance, or contributes articles or do the podcast and consistently shares thoughtful insight, they're not just collecting content or making short content. They are creating a body of evidence that they can use. Each piece becomes another breadcrumb that says this person is or has been doing the work. This person is experienced. This person is reliable. People underestimate the slow burn authority because it doesn't create immediate dopamine. And you know that TikTok and all of this is about the dopamine. It's quick. You know, you just scroll. You really don't even absorb it. But when you're consistent, you don't have to measure it in likes or in comments or leads this week, but authority, compound authority. It is more, I don't know, like an interest savings account, you know, it's not like a lottery ticket. It's completely different. You're just taking a chance on the lottery. You're throwing it out there, but a savings account is secure. It slowly fills up. And I think that's the biggest difference there.
I love that. That is that.
Yeah.
So Jay, how does a feature, article, or even a contributor role build that trust quietly? You ladies see it a lot.
They're absorbing who you are. And then people start saying, hey, I've been watching you. I know you. I read your story. I'm connected with you. Your story helped me. Something like this, you know, that visibility becomes real, and the consistency creates recognition. And it's not only, you know, you have the cover of the magazine and you can share it for the rest of your life. You can share it with everyone. It's the same thing with your podcast, and people start getting to know who you really are in your essence, your I am, not by your titles, not by anything else, but for who you are. And that's what credibility is gonna start helping you to start choosing your business, let's say. But they don't choose your business for the titles. It chooses you for who you are, for your story, for the credibility that you manage coming through recognizable platforms.
Well said. Our communities lean in, right? And that's the thing. They want to lean in and in the eco. So,
yes.
But what people don't expect, think about you. So here, before we move on, I want to go to men's, but you know, this is a huge thing. That's where we overlap, Hounds and I am authority. Actually, so men's division, we got to talk about this, you know, in the last few minutes here. Let's talk about it because it's become a powerful overlap with the Hounds. It's sincerely, and I am so grateful. And what are y'all building there, and why does it matter? Oh.
The men's division. Listen, we had we started with a ladies magazine in English and Spanish, and we realized that 49% of our readers were men. We started digging into the why. The why are they reading us? And if you look in the magazine, at the end of every single article, you will have a way to connect with the author.
But Jade, anything to add? Because this is important.
Yes.
I want men to know this ain't whining and this ain't machismo. This is the middle ground.
Yes, I want to add, Jen mentioned almost everything, but why matters now is one of the questions you say. It's because men are carrying more pressure than ever, quietly. They're expected to lead, they're expected to provide, to perform, and to stay strong without a place to be real. So the men's division gives men a space built for them. And where leadership, brotherhood, emotional growth, and legacy can actually be talked about. Men rise differently when they rise together. And right now, they need that more than ever. And why do I say that? Well, I think everybody knows why a men's division was created. But because I lost my son, I realized that men really need other men to talk about with. Because sometimes they don't dare to talk to the wife, to the mother, to the sister. So this is why this place was built, for men to be together, to rise together, to evolve together, to have that essence together. And of course, we are behind the scenes, but the men's division is created by you all men.
You're the orchestra or symphony director that allows us to be in harmony and amplify what we do. And real quick, and here's what look, before we move, because I want to make sure folks know how to tap in. It's crazy nuts. But what I appreciate personally the most, there's none of that chest thumping nonsense, right? It's really is men, leadership, growth, business, emotion, family, resilience, faith, right? And, and yes, there are spots now. So let me get into it. I want people to hear this. You ladies have an anthology that's coming out very soon. You have so many things, like a buffet. So I don't want to overwhelm folks, but the folks out there, what kind of stories are you looking for now? And, who would be a good fit in general, to have that discussion and see if this is a good time for them or later for them to plug in and benefit and share their story with the right people looking for their solution.
Well, our anthology, me?
Yeah, you spoke first. We throw it out there like dog food. Just everybody fight over here.
What happens in your life before you decide, or when you decide to move on to something better, what you are becoming. So that's what this anthology is about. And in the process, we are giving the tools. We're asking every single author to give a tool, something that the reader is able to take and apply in their lives. So it is 20 authors. We are launching the book in August, and we are actually on the last moments of, if you want to be in the anthology itself, you have the rest of probably this month, and that's about it. We're closing it for everybody, and we're moving into the editing phase. So just make sure that you reach out to us on it.
Yes.
Absolutely. You can Google this. If I Am Magazine International comes right up, you can put it in the chat, and you get more than just the magazine. There's a lot to it, but also what I love, obviously, is the communal aspect, right? We're reposting. The Hounds is putting it out. People are contributing. You can meet people. I meet people all the time. Hounds meet people in the post comments about someone's magazine or their feature or whatever. So here's the final question, ladies. And folks, go out there and check them out. They won't even see you doing it. Go to the magazine. It's free to read. Thank you, ladies, for making that possible. And what would you say to the coach, consultant, author, speaker, founder, content creator, expert, business owner? They know they have value, but they feel like they're shouting into the void. Close us out with this. What do you think? What do you want to say to them who are maybe on the fence about this?
So when your story meets the right platform, the right room, and the right people, everything shifts, because authority isn't built by yelling louder or doing reels. It's built by being seen in the right context, by the right audience, through the right story, your I am story, owning your voice and owning your story. Mm-hmm. So I believe that is what it is important in this matter.
But what I would tell the coach, the consultant, the author is that to have a plan, to be consistent, to find where they need to. You cannot feel on candy alone. You have to have that meat and potatoes on it. Have that platform and put it out there, something that tells the whole story.
Hey, it's Kelly Lemon from the Virginia Wayside Furniture Studio for an all-new episode of 8 at 4. It's Kelly. All right, here we go.
Hey, it's Matt Pachilli from the Virginia Wayside Furniture Studio for this food-filled
I'm Kelly
episode.
Lemon.
And I'm Michael Paul Williams.
And welcome to the After the Monuments podcast.
Happy playoff season, 804 football fans.
For the Richmond Times-Dispatch, this is Jeff Shapiro.
I'm Justin Lowe, food writer for N4 Magazine and dining critic for the Richmond Times-Dispatch. And I'm here to tell you where Richmond eats.
Our marketplace is accelerating at an unprecedented rate. At Lee Enterprises Virginia and the Richmond Times-Dispatch, we are investing in the tools, talent, and technology to tell your story through a fresh lens, lifting local brands and helping businesses grow. Let us help you amplify your message, reaching the right audience at the right time.
Welcome to the Road to Richmond bracket unveiling.